Papa Pepper, the wild man's wild friends, crayfish.
Alright guys, Papa Pepper here near the stream with another one of the wild man's wild friends. This one is the crayfish, also known as a mud bug, also known as a crawdad. It's known by a lot of names, and there's actually quite a few different kinds. Worldwide they fall into 3 different categories of crayfish, but even in North America there's like over 300 different specific species of crayfish, so I'm not even going to tell you who exactly I think this guy is. I'm just going to tell you that it is a crayfish. Now crayfish are cool. They're a freshwater crustacean. They can also live in brackish water, and they're, you know, related to the crabs, lobsters, stuff like that. Sometimes people call them freshwater lobsters. They're kind of like, if lobster's kind of the cockroach of the sea, these are kind of the cockroach of the lake or the cockroach of the stream, meaning that if anything dies and falls in the water, these guys are going to be the guys who eat it. We used to sometimes trap them by just putting some dead meat, some rotting meat in a trap or on a net, and then these guys would come grab it. Or you could tie just a string around some dead meat and dangle it in the water. They'd pinch onto it like that with these huge claws, and then you just pull them up out of the water. Now, to escape predators, because these guys are eaten by a lot of guys, some places they're illegal to use as fishing bait, like up in Wisconsin. Other places it's perfectly fine. But to escape their predators, they'll take this back tail and they'll actually flip it quickly, and they'll scoot through the water backwards with their claws behind them. All sorts of things will eat them. Often you can find little exoskeletons by the shore from raccoons eating them. In the lakes, you know, largemouth bass, smallmouth bass love these guys, especially after they molt. Like I said, they have an exoskeleton like a lot of insects, so when they get bigger, this hard outer shell actually comes off, and they're very soft. They're really soft at first. They're squishy. When you find them, you think you found like a mud puppy or something right by a bridge, but then eventually they harden up and they're good to go. They're omnivores, so they're going to be eating whatever they can find. If they need to eat plant material, they'll eat plant material. If they catch fresh things themselves, they'll grab and pinch onto whatever they can get. Or like I said, if they find dead things too. They do have 4 legs on each side behind the claws. These 2 are just kind of legs, and these 2 actually got little pinchers at the end, the first 2. And they've got the big claws up front. The females will actually carry eggs underneath their tail like that. There'll be a whole pile of eggs. I showed that on Steam It a while ago, what you may not know about crayfish. And then they'll actually eventually hatch all the little babies. They'll be pink at first, and then they'll turn into brown eventually, and then they'll be out in the water. I actually found a couple a day that were about that long. So this guy's a bigger guy. They will grow to about more than 7 inches. I think the biggest one I caught was about 9 inches in total length. People do eat them around the world. We don't eat them anymore. They're kind of just part of the cleanup crew, and we try to eat clean. So these guys they're interesting, they're cool. People do use them for bait. People do also keep them for pets sometimes. They come in some cool colors, some cool shades. This guy's got red tips to his claw, looking kind of menacing. They can help keep a fish tank clean, and they can make a very interesting pet. Often they'll want somewhere to hide. Out in the stream like this, we used to find them by rolling over rocks a lot, or logs, and you roll it over and a bunch of them shoot out, and you go chase them as they swim through the water backwards. A lot of fun for just snorkeling and free diving and just being out in the streams and the lakes. So these guys are pretty crazy, pretty cool. They can take over environments. I know we had the rusty crayfish up in Wisconsin, which was causing some havoc, kind of like the zebra mussels and the lampreys and some other stuff. But just another one of my wild friends. I've been waiting to do one of these for a while, and finally Monster Truck saw a big one today while we were down here, so I figured, you know what, let's do a video, and we'll share it. All right, pop out.
As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.